Hello and welcome to the fourth and final episode of our haunted zoo build, or our little haunted house zoo experience build of sorts. So in this episode, I am building a haunted maze. So I tried a couple of times before actually recording, or well, some failed recordings before this, of trying to see the best way to actually put together a maze in this game, because I've never really tried to build one before. And this is what I ended up with. So I thought at first maybe I could do something cute with the curves. You know, you see a lot of hedge mazes that are a bit more rounded, or have round sections, or just some curved sections and that kind of thing. Way too hard. Maybe it's something that I put together for a more serious build at some point in the future, but holy, trying to get nice, neat circles with these paths and with the actual fence pieces and everything else with straight lines, I don't know, it wasn't happening. So instead of all that, I decided to make it a little bit more simple and just take the grid from the haunted house so that it was, lined up with the haunted house. This whole thing is on a bit of an angle, which never build at an angle in your zoos. If I have any suggestion, it's build on the grid, adjust things to your angle if you really need them to. But either way, we made this work. And I used a reference picture of a square hedge maze like this, but it wasn't really, it's not exactly what I ended up doing, I suppose is the best way to put it. The one in the actual photo was way bigger than this one, so I just I freeformed most of this with the same kind of idea that they were going for, I guess, would be the best way to do it. So I also, first I tried maybe putting the fences up and then the pathways. Obviously that's not the best way to do it. Put your pathways first, then build your hedges around it or your barriers around it, because otherwise, there's no way to get the paths to fit perfectly. I guess maybe you could turn off. I guess it probably wouldn't have been so bad if you had the collision turned off. I'm not sure if you can do that for barriers, but either way, this worked quite well in the end. It did take a little bit of time to put in all the barriers after. Most of this video is probably putting in barriers, even though it is a shorter build video, but it is what it is. So it's not the most exciting build of them all, but I think it turns out really cool in the end. So you can see there, the idea would be from the haunted house, you have your entrance, and then along the side there, you have your exit. People can exit out there. Realistically, I guess you could go in the other way if you wanted to, but I haven't allowed people back into this park anyway, so I don't know what they're doing. I assume they're mostly going to go through the front because it's closer, but it's hard to say. And I added the guest habitat gates to this one because this is going to be a walk through raccoon habitat. So we are going to be adding in the raccoons to this one to allow them to run around and hang out with the guests and all of that, which I think is just kind of an added little, not the raccoons are that spooky, but just an added little spooky element to all of this. I don't even know what spooky animals would be. If you wanted to do a proper a Halloween zoo or spooky zoo, I guess you'd do maybe hyenas, maybe wolves. I don't know if wolves are really that spooky even. It's basically just the bats. And then I guess maybe some of the exhibit animals. People don't really like spiders and snakes and stuff, but maybe we'll think about that for the season's over now. So I probably won't do it off season, but maybe we could think about doing that next fall, an actual really cool fall themed spooky themed build. I would love to do something like that. I wish I had been making videos a little bit earlier in the fall. It was still so hot here for basically all of October until this past week. And it's so hard for me to film videos in this house in the summertime. It gets way too hot in here. I don't even think my computer would run this game in that heat. But yeah, either way, maybe next year we can pull something off like that. I love the season. I love fall colors. I love Halloween. My house was decorated to the nines this year and everything. So yeah, I think we could definitely do something like that. But either way, we're kicking off the new filming season, I suppose, is what I would call it, with this little mini haunted build. And I think it's still got it got the little bit of satisfaction I was looking for in the end. But yeah, so still building the walls here, build the walls forever. About half the video, building walls. Now I'm actually wondering what I do for the other half of the video, because I thought this felt like it took significantly longer than anything else in this build, but I guess we're almost done already, so it's not too bad. Although this is overall a shorter build than I have been for the rest of this series so far, but that's just because I think I'm getting better and it's a little simpler, but I think I am getting a little bit better again. It's been a while since I've built anything in this game, so there it is. Oh, and we've got a little bit left there at the bottom. So the other thing really to note, aside from this, because I have nothing else to talk about placing hedges, I am starting a City Skylines Let's Play. So I already filmed the first episode, and it's going to come out about a week after this one's come out. So if that's something that you're interested in watching and you like to watch my stuff, you might have to go and search for it, which I know you're not going to come back a week later and search for it, but maybe it'll be in the back of your mind later. I'll probably mention it again on my next Planet Zoo video that comes out after the City Skylines one, so you'll hear me talk about it a couple times. Hopefully that's not too annoying. But yeah, I just know the new series it might be okay since I haven't posted anything in a while, but I know new games just don't do well. They don't get pushed to anybody on the channel, so you might have to go and look for that one if that's a game that you like, because I'm really excited about it. So I'm building a nice big city there. But anyway, back to this now that we're doing something a little bit interesting. So I decided I wanted to do these little like half wall walk, like entryways, so that the animals could kind of, make their way through the maze, but the people couldn't really go through there. And they don't really, if you peeked through, it's not like you would really see anything anyway. So it doesn't really break the maze illusion, but it's just like a barrier where people can't go through, but the raccoons could go through. That was my idea. And I just put a few of them just to kind of give them a couple of escape points, and that kind of thing if people are bothering them. And then I put the raccoons in, and you'll see because it's going to be the top, the first clip that comes with my like walkthrough clips at the end. But they just climb these walls. They love climbing these walls. I didn't need to put those in at all. The raccoons they can just climb these. I totally forgot that animals can climb things. Of course they can. And hedges are the most climbable thing there is. So those were not needed. But I guess it kind of gives the same idea. They're not going to use them, but maybe in reality they would because the zoo is so realistic. But anyway, now we're just adding a bunch of dead trees again, just keeping with the vibe of everywhere else. The dead trees, a few of the autumn trees, some of these new spooky tangled up trees, I don't remember what they were called, and some dry bushes as well. Of course, just to finish up the landscape so it doesn't look too ridiculous when we, fly over and take a look. And then, really after putting the raccoons in, the last thing that I wanted to do was just make it a little bit more interesting in here. So I just wanted you to be able to like walk around and like come up to a few little decorated areas. We obviously don't have a ton of options for spooky decorations in Planet Zoo. That's not the point. It's not Planet Coaster. But I just thought a little bit here and there would be kind of fun. So I used a bunch of stuff in the Twilight Pack, the pumpkins, these cauldron trash cans, some of the decals as well. I thought they would glow more at night because they have like a glow color to them, but they don't glow. I don't know. So you can't really see the bats and stuff in the end anyway. But put the spooky eyes in some of the hedges, and that was basically, I think that's mostly what I used. And then, yeah, these mushrooms, which I actually was thinking I should have put them in the swamp as well, the mushrooms, so I might do that. I'm not totally sure if it would really add much to it or if it would just kind of take away and make it look more fake. I'm not really sure. But either way, just playing around with these decals in this area and adding some pumpkins, and then we'll go through and add a bit of extra lighting. The mushrooms do light up, but I thought, I don't know, it would be nice to add in a little bit more so you're not just like wandering through in the dark. So I just used these Twilight wall torches. I think they give a good vibe, bring that like orange in that we have from the haunted house as well. And yeah, that is basically that. So I will leave you with the clips coming up here shortly of our raccoons climbing our barriers and wandering around the maze a little bit. And then I do a little walkthrough as if we were going through the maze. Actually, no, one more thing first. The barrier, yeah. So I realized that they could climb it, and then I realized they're going to be able to climb out, and then I realized the hedges don't have like an anti-climbing thing. So I did wood on the outside instead of hedge. I actually think it looks kind of cool. It makes it look a little bit more rustic, but yeah, that is about it. So as always, let me know in the comments anything that you want to see from the channel. I'm going to be, I already mentioned, and a couple of people have already said as well, that Mount Borealis is going to come back, and I'm excited to finish up that build for the winter. But if there's anything else that you want to see, or any other games, I think in order to keep this channel alive and like keep my motivation up, I'm gonna have to switch a little bit between games, even if nobody watches them. So if there are any games that you would want to watch me play, let me know in the comment section below, and I will talk to you in the next one.